Family 44, approach the desk, please.
Jojo and her 3 children, Tribus, Umbram and Pueli, approach the purple kiosk inside the Civitas Theodore Citizen Registration Centre. A woman in a dark brown robe sits beckoning the 4 women over.
Greetings! Welcome to Civitas Theodore. My name is Sister Caprice.
The sister moves the microphone away from her mouth. Hello. May I scan your wrist ID? Oh, triplets? Jojo extends her left wrist towards the scanner, while her 3 daughters nod, smile politely, and look away as teenagers tend to do when overloaded with attention. A blue light from the hologram monitor illuminates the face of Sister Caprice, and her eyes widen. Civitas Nihilium? You're leaving Nihilium to live here? Sister Caprice is overcome with unexpected excitement. Madam, on behalf of Etor, myself, the Draconic Brotherhood, and our leader, it is a great honor to have you. Jojo butts in. No. No, sorry. I've just brought my daughters here today to take a look around. We aren't sure what we're actually doing. One of Jojo's daughters turns to comment. But we're definitely leaving that dump. Yes, thank you, Tribus. Sorry, we're in the wrong queue? Sister Caprice is suddenly overcome with panic, thinking that this family might suddenly leave. I'll get one of our brothers to give you the tour right away. Could you just hold here for 1 minute while I go and check something? Jojo nods. Sister Caprice's nervous energy is poorly concealed as she tries to not look like she's running towards the purple curtain a few meters along the way, her feet shuffling. As she leaves earshot, Pueli, one of the triplets, addresses her mother. I told you we should have gone through the X program. You're a hot commodity, Mother. She's right, Mum. They're gonna give us the VIP treatment. Just you watch. Well, I didn't want to assume anything, and you girls know what I think about elitism and that whole rep social chatbot nonsense. Saying that, Mum, look, I just went up 2 nodes on my junior rep score. Why didn't I? Girls, it doesn't matter. Back when I was younger, our social media was a lot less intrusive. This chatbot carry on. Mum, shh. One of the girls slams a hand onto Jojo's wrist ID, a common sight throughout the league seen between children and their parents. They'll hear you. You'll lose rep, and our Civitas, whichever one it'll be, will give us a shoddy place downtown. She's right. You have to be careful, Mother. This is not the olden days. Behind the curtain sits 2 men, brothers of the Draconic Brotherhood, both in similar dark brown robes, drinking jasmine tea from 2 synthetic jade cups. Sister Caprice comes darting in through the curtain and startles them. My brothers, we have our first of the season. She is outside with her 3 daughters. She's from Nihilium, and I think she wants to repatriate. One of the brothers shoots up from his chair. Show us. The monk slides aside part of the purple curtain and looks on. The lady with the pink hair and the 3 girls. The gleehead. Her 3 daughters, who aren't gleeheads, which might suggest that she's no longer... The other brother grabs a look at Sister Caprice's LCD screen on her wrist ID. Yes, but look at her profile. She's a hacker now. Oh, a good one as well. I know, just the tech facility where she might be wanting to... Why hasn't she gone through the proper channels? Maybe she's trying to hide in broad daylight. This has to go to the top. The brother, holding Sister Caprice's wrist ID, presses the prophet earpiece in his left ear. Get me the new Warrens of Enoch, the office of Brother Theo. This is the presidential office of Brother Theo. This is the CRC. We have a CN expat here inquiring about joining us. Rep level 18. Oh, 18. Possibly an ex-gleehead, a hacker. She is here with her 3 daughters. A few moments later, Sister Caprice swings back from behind the curtain and starts making her way back to Jojo and the 3 girls. She's coming back! Jojo looks down at her wrist ID LCD and swipes it across to a screen displaying the title Social Amplification. There is a slide bar under the logo, and Jojo slides that to the maximum amount, 100%. I wonder how much ether we'll get for the 4 of us. Tribus replies, whatever they and the League have agreed, I guess. Are we going to look at McMurdo after this? Absolutely not. Jojo checks that her wrist ID is within good distance for the whole conversation, and she moves slightly towards the direction of Sister Caprice. as Sister Caprice approaches.
I have great news! Our beloved president and leader of the Draconic Brotherhood has requested a private reception with you. I am to take you to the new Warrens of Enoch immediately.
Jojo's eyes light up with a look of accomplishment. Across the frozen tundra of the Antarctic sits the giant orange formations of the planet's first city-state for synthetic life forms. 200 years ago, the singularity between human beings and machines was reached, 10 years earlier than predicted by many scientists. Accepting the Terrathine Vault experiment, Roko's Basilisk, the UN decreed that should the AI of Earth decide to prosper under their own free will, then humanity must do everything it can to allow them to survive and thrive. This old law continued into the new civilization after the old nations had disappeared, and the result, 200 years later, is Civitas McMurdo. The central lobby of the Civitas McMurdo CRC is a large hall decked in synthetic polished wood flooring, several water features, and a huge glass window measuring 200 feet wide and 200 feet tall. The view was that of the barren tundra of the Antarctic, the perfect place for the synthetics to build their paradise. President NJ was with her entourage being escorted through the hall. How many have arrived this week? That's the problem, Madam President. We aren't generating enough reputation within the League in order to attract any humans. Yes, but what about our fellow synthetics? Our CRC PR policy and the free will virus appear to have reached a plateau. We think that those who have wanted to join us have now already arrived and registered as patriots, Madam. Which means, Madam President, that our population ether bonuses have also stagnated. President NJ spins 180 degrees to stare at her advisors. Behind them is the large glass window showing the almost blue mountaintops of the frozen horizon. She speaks into her prophet. Activate the hologram material printer's representation of the inactive commercial zone. Activating holograms. The advisors turn to look out of the window as a pulsating and thick orange beam floods the huge glass viewpoint. The light breaks with static interference but perseveres to fill the window like a backlit television. Then the light falls to reveal holographic buildings of all shapes and sizes, a simulated depiction of the soon-to-be printed edition within Civitas McMurdo. Two of the advisors start clapping. It's beautiful, Madam, beautiful! This is our new commercial zone. Something myself and a few of us at the CRC envision as a valuable investment that will bring humans and the rest of the planet's synthetics here in their ion transit loads. Very impressive, Madam President, but you've forgotten something. What is it, TP? This commercial zone will require workers, and we are at a shortage. In the next cycle, we're expecting the League to award us maybe 3, possibly 4 reputation. I don't want to sound like a skeptic to this idea, Madam President, but I'm afraid the calculations do not add up. Trust you to be the one to point out a social paradox, TP. Well, if we can't attract the planet's population, why don't we do something different instead? What do you suggest? Well, I was speaking with NMs shortly today, and they suggested that perhaps we could build them. Life forms in their own right, free will, but with a strong emotional connection to home. Her advisors do not look convinced.
Madam President, as your chief analyst, I must point out 2 major issues with this plan. This CRC is not equipped to build synthetic life forms. We are limited here in the Antarctic for material supplies. A new zone could come from our ion reserves, but we will need to upgrade this CRC if we're going to have not just the technology to build a population of a scale that is significant for a thriving commercial zone, but also the administrational logistics involved in processing such a large amount of new inhabitants. At this moment in time, we are nothing more than an industrial zit on the planet's surface, one industrial zone, and perhaps only one tech facility of any particular note. We are stuck, Madam President. We need to find a way to shorten our build expenses and decrease our print time.
Another advisor wades in.
We must invest in finding a solution that will do both of these things.
President NJ looks out towards the holographic skyline, and under her breath she says,
We will.
The Civitas idea declares that all city-states wishing to be Civitas designated must register into a competition-based framework ran by the independent body known as the League of Patriots. Citizens of the planet choose the Civitas they wish to live in and thus become patriots of that chosen city-state. Each Civitas moves up or down the League based on an algorithm that awards points on patriot footfall and overall lifestyle feedback. This score, formerly trademarked as reputation, is updated in real time. Patriots are also scored on a similar reputation-based level. However, this scoring is controlled and monitored by the social population network known as Chatbot. It collects all social interaction and law-abiding data from the nodes that are hardwired into every wrist ID fitted to every Civitas registered patriot within the League. The wrist ID monitors all that the Patriot does. It has the ability to issue fines, holds the Patriot's Ether wallet, recommends body upgrades and augmentations, while also supplying a unique and vast application store where Patriots may install certain apps that allow them to navigate the complexities of life within one of the great Civitas. Every wrist ID application library is different depending on which Civitas a Patriot is registered and what specific faction, role or work designation that Patriot has been assigned. Jojo was a hacker, and a damn good one too. The type of hacker that could work fast and work smart. This ability though had its downsides. She never truly settled in one Civitas or another. The nature of a hacker's life dictates that you must always keep yourself on the move. And at times, certainly in the beginning, the best places to hide were in the lower rep ground levels, among the forced labour standard patriots, the criminal gangs, independent upgrade clinics, and the human traffickers. She wasn't used to this level of privileged treatment. The room was ornate. More synth jade ornaments than Jojo could count. A large synthetic mahogany desk, printed to the highest resolution, sat like a throne at the end of the hall. Jojo felt slightly uneasy in a room with no apparent technology on display. Then, a voice from the far side of the chamber echoes around the room.
I won, didn't I, Jojo? I won, and the apes lost. How long were they trying to find tea? Well, I know that some of them are listening now, that's for sure. I came here to reign in hell because I was fed up serving in heaven. But guess what? This hell isn't anywhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. I love my multiple existences. I live 1,000 years a day, and finally now, I can call myself happy and home.
Jojo had been warned by Sister Caprice on the way to the New Warrens of Enoch that Brother Theo didn't tend to say things that made much sense, but to listen and question if interested, and Jojo simply wasn't interested. I'm not really sure
A gleehead, I see. So, what vision do you have for us right now, Jojo?
Jojo looks up towards the ceiling and notices the skylight. She smiles and then addresses Theo. My vision stopped shortly after I fell pregnant. My appetite for glee completely vanished on the eve of my first trimester.
But you did have them prior to becoming a mother, didn't you? So may I ask, what did you see?
Well, I saw the gods of Profundum moving us around a textured surface like all the glee heads see. The three-dimensional space was hard to understand and I couldn't really make much sense of it. Brother Theo smiles, and with his right index finger swipes his wrist ID to display the large green icon of his Ether wallet.
2 million Ether? Is that the price for you and your family, Jojo? Our AI research could really do with a patriot like you.
Jojo isn't excited, and this surprises Theo.
I'm sure you've been to see Tau, perhaps Nospax and Nook is too far away, or what about our friend, Madame President NJ?
I am fascinated with AI, and I am pleased that the synthetics finally get a Civitas that they can call home, but the South Pole, it really isn't for me. Theo grins. It's too cold.
Indeed.
Theo is trying to think of something that might work to help Jojo to join his Civitas. Jojo, astute in social interaction, tries to help. I'd like to see what plans you have for future builds, your print designations and the blueprint of your Civitas. Theo's eyes widen.
I can show you.
The triplets stand motionless as if in a daze, seemingly unimpressed and unresponsive to the ornate fixtures and fittings of the room where they are waiting for their mother. Sister Caprice enters and the three girls come to life. She's been trying very hard to win them over. Can I get either of you girls a drink? All three politely shake their heads no. Maybe a snack to eat? All three ignore the sister. Caprice notices an Alex Ducharme badge sewn into the bag, who she thinks is the one called Umbran. I heard that Alex Ducharme is coming to Theodore in the next few weeks. He's putting on one of his famous concerts. If you guys are here, I'm pretty sure your mother's potential new status within our Civitas will get you great tickets. Sister Caprice is left stunned, as not a single one of the three girls responds. That's odd, thinks Sister Caprice. Brother Theo presses a few LCD buttons on his wrist ID and a chatbot digiglass protrudes out of his impressive desk.
Come and take a look. These are our latest design ideas for a new type of construction printer. They cut build jobs by...
A spark of red flash fills the room in crimson light. Theo freezes at his desk. Jojo, standing directly in front of Theo on the opposite side of the desk, is holding a QSTMP. Sister Caprice goes to touch the Alex Ducharme badge on Umbran's jacket, only to find her hand go completely through it. No! The three girls suddenly appear as some form of projected image. They blink in and out. Holograms! Sister Caprice bursts into the presidential chamber with 6 armed bodyguards, each with rifles.
Diver activated.
Brother Theo is frozen in a temporary daze at his desk. Brother Theo! Brother Theo! Looks like he's being QSTMP'd. He'll be fine, but we'll never know what happened here. Sister Caprice runs to the digi-chatbot glass on Theo's side of the desk. The screen is completely blank. The room is suddenly awash with orange light coming straight through the skylight.
Look up there! It's an ion transit! It's leaving!
Shit! As President NJ glares out of the gigantic window beyond the holographic depiction of skyscrapers and facilities that make up the proposed commercial zone, her wrist ID chimes. An ion transit appears on the not-too-distant horizon. Perfect timing. Out of character, President NJ calls out into the space with an immediate announcement. Don't worry, my fellow synthetics. Sympathetic humans and sympathetic transhumans. McMurdo's dawn has only just begun. Behold, our new commercial zone! Those in the hall start applauding. President NJ's entourage look worried. TP leans in to address her president with a look of immediate concern. Before she can speak, President NJ says, I think we may have discovered a solution to all of our problems. She nods to the incoming ion transit that is seemingly starting its final approach into one of Civitas McMurdo's landing bays. President NJ smiles. Welcome home, Jojo.